Welcome back to this week's edition of Frontline.
So, sorry, we'll get on to this six-man tag match in a minute, but am I dreaming? Or did I just hear a message from one of the world's top wrestling stars saying he's uncovered a worldwide conspiracy to infiltrate the wrestling industry worldwide?
I think, well, the bits of it that I could actually hear above this audience,
ladies and gentlemen,
I would say that's exactly what he was saying.
More of our stars from Adrenaline Pro Wrestling on their way to the ring. But I'm sorry, I'm trying to give this match some attention. I can't get over what we've just heard. The ramifications of what Patrick Len from the Daily Star just said. And we couldn't hear all of it, a very raucous crowd here in Wolverhampton tonight. But just from the bits I heard, that will shake the entire wrestling industry to its very foundation. This isn't some nutshot. This isn't some paranoid conspiracy theorist who thinks aliens shot JFK or Area 51 is a place in New Mexico. This is Doug Williams. Doug Williams, a trusted veteran in the wrestling world, saying that there is a global conspiracy involving all of the major wrestling companies on this planet.
I'm just, I don't know, I'm just trying to digest some of what Patrick Lennon said. I'll tell you, the first thing I will say is that if what Patrick Lennon said is to be believed, then Patrick Lennon is an extremely brave man for saying it, even if it was on a pre-recorded DVD.
Well, you can understand now why Patrick Lennon, even though he was here earlier, didn't want to come out to the ring and say that. If this is true, we don't know who's involved. There could be people here in this building tonight who have links to other wrestling promotions around the world who are somehow part of this. No wonder Patrick Lennon wanted to do that in a pre-recorded message.
I don't know, a lot of it did sound quite far-fetched to me. I'm not sure.
Greg, look at the evidence, right? Doug Williams suddenly misses 2 FWA shows in a row, fails to show up. That's not like Doug Williams. Suddenly, Martin Stone, on the day we announced European Uprising, the biggest show in FWA's history, has mysteriously had knee surgery and is no longer able to compete for the company. While there's rumours flying around that he's signed for the biggest professional wrestling company in the world. You've got Nick Aldis, Brutus Magnus, a TNA star, Doug Williams' tag partner, coming out here on Art of War, implying the very same thing that Patrick Lennon just said on behalf of Doug Williams. The evidence is mounting up and up. I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all, but this is getting weird.
Well, it's like I said before. Patrick Lennon would have us believe that there are people planted within various wrestling organisations around the world to try and further an agenda, if I may use that term, of a group of international business people who aren't wrestling people. They've nothing to do with wrestling at all, but they're trying to infiltrate the industry for their own ends, and they're tied in with the biggest wrestling companies of the world.
None of, well, from what I could gather, none of whom know that they're being infiltrated from within. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we're not meaning to disrespect this match. Nick Riley in the yellow trunks, that arm lock on textbook breaks countering, but I don't know what to make of what we've just heard. I don't know what to say. Breaks to the ropes. Riley with a drop kick takes down. A young textbook superstar from the House of Pain Academy in Nottingham. I say the superstar, he's not one yet, but he was on the winning team at the recent BWC Expo. First of its kind, and you've got to think that as one of the country's top trainees, he's got a very bright future indeed, as does Riley, as does the man he's facing now, Axel Rage.
FWA Adrenaline, we saw the pre-show earlier today, the young stars of British wrestling are trying to break out. These 6 guys in the ring right now, I hand-picked and selected from their performance earlier today to come out here and get an opportunity at FWA Hope and Glory. They better take it, they better not let me down, and that includes my man from the XWA who's in the ring right now, Axel Rage, the Scarlo Scholarship winner, the UK Student of the Year, and this guy impressed me earlier today, Max Angelus from Nottingham.
Angelus leaping over the ropes in an arm drag. You know, I'm just looking on the rope, Danny Chaser in the corner is wearing one of those British Wrestling Council wristbands, and one of the things Patrick Lennon was saying during that recorded message, Greg, was that there are storylines being stolen from the top company in the UK, which presumably is the FWA, and being used in the biggest wrestling company in the world. It's something we mentioned at Art of War as well, but black and yellow wristbands and an agenda that goes further than anyone knows. Where have you heard that before?
I think the next thing you'll be telling me is that Dynamite Dave Fury is an alien from the planet Zog. I mean, it just seems a little convoluted and bizarre for me. I mean, okay, Doug Williams, by the sound of things, he is here, but I mean, it could be that TNA have just extended his schedule again, legitimately, like they did last time. Doug Williams is saying, if something happens to me, this message will self-destruct in 48 hours. If something happens to me, read this message out. I've uncovered a conspiracy.
Greg, listen to the evidence. Listen to what you just heard.
Goodness gracious me, are there going to be crop circles in the middle of the Wolverhampton Civic Hall next?
Can you not just take off the blinkers, take off those ridiculous sunglasses that you're wearing at night time for some reason, and think what's happened? Oh, bell's rung here. Dave, unlike David Furious, he snapped, he's choking out Angelus.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dynamite Dave Fury has been disqualified, therefore eliminated from the match. The match will continue.
Alright, so the match is going to go on. David Fury is out though.
I said before, at XWA Adrenaline this afternoon, that Dynamite Dave Fury, you know, he channels the spirits of his hero, the Dynamite Kid. The Dynamite Kid had a screw loose, and so has Dynamite Dave Fury.
Sorry, I'm not done with this. I'm not done with what we were talking about before. I'm sorry again to veer away from this match, Greg, but how can you possibly say that this is some kind of whack job idea, you know, nut job idea? This is, look at what's happened. Look at everything I just listed at the start of the match here. The things that have gone on here in the FWA.
Look, listen, I'm willing to believe that there are certain aspects of that, of what was said, that may be true.
No, you're not.
No, stealing.
No, you're not. You're
stealing.
scared.
No, listen, I'm not scared. Listen, right. A major wrestling company steals ideas from a smaller wrestling company. That's happened before. That is well documented. It's been in Power Slam magazine. That can happen. A major wrestling company puts members of its family in high positions in order to gain further control around the globe. That's happening right now. I can see it. It's been reported elsewhere. I can understand that. But are you trying to tell me, for example, that those two incidents are linked in some way, and that Doug Williams has uncovered all this because he was offered money to be part of it?
The fact that you're trying to
preposterous.
Well, no, the fact that you're saying it's preposterous, the fact that you're ridiculing the very idea is exactly what everyone has done throughout history when anyone has had an idea outside of the box. That's why no one believes any conspiracy theorists. Everyone is just palmed off as being crazy. What if some of this is true?
Well, do you know what?
It's a typical cover-up.
I've only got one thing to say to you, Dave.
What?
I shot JFK. Go on. I shot him. It was me. I did it. I'll hold my hands up.
You can watch the next part of this edition of Frontline on the FWA YouTube channel now.
This is the resistance, and we need your help.